live to be 100. It's my goal, right? So, and get a Spawn movie out. So those are my two goals. So
Get a Spawn movie out.
and live to be 100. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do at least one of those. I'm gonna do for sure. So we'll see.
Can you give us any more information on a Spawn movie?
Hello and welcome to the OddKey Café. This is a cafe we host every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard in the Discord, so make sure to join below. Today we had Todd McFarlane pop in. I hope you guys enjoy the recording.
Todd, it's funny, Todd, because this week we were supposed to have Jonathan Glappy on tonight, and he wasn't able to be on because he was sick, and actually family came down with some sickness, so we were kind of just spitballing here tonight.
Oh, Jonathan's a good guy. He would have a lot to say. He's a good man. So,
yeah, no, we're rescheduling up.
So if he comes, then ask him about inking pages of issue 300 in my kitchen, because I flew him in to help ink pages at my kitchen. Well, it wasn't supposed to be at the kitchen. It was just at the office, and then I took him home, and he stayed at my home. But we were inking on the kitchen, and we have like tiles, right, with grouting in between. So it's not a flat surface. And he was like so polite because he was inking, and then eventually he finally got the courage to just go, is there a surface we can ink on other than this one? Because he wanted to be so perfect, and it was like, you might as well have been inking on rocks, right? So, but I just want to see how long he went. I'm like, I'm doing good. I can stay on my little tile. I don't know what you're doing, but but he pulled it off. Luckily, it was just a bunch of debris and explosions and fun stuff like that. So, but yeah, he's a master of splatter and some effects that I can't even get. So. He was a big help to pulling off issue 300. So
That's definitely some interesting information there. We'll definitely talk to him more about that.
Oh, and the thing is, that's only the parts I probably shortchanged him 10 different ways when he was at the office, because I'm just like, suck it up, Buttercup. Just go over there and do the work, right? So, but everybody's always polite, and then later I hear, you know what I did? Todd did. I'm like, what? To me, it's just how I just. To me, everything is just you just roll with the punches. And so I maybe what it is that my reputation precedes me a little bit, that they assume that I have like top flight equipment and people and assistants and all this other stuff that quote unquote other celebrities have, and I have none of the above. So I think they sort of build me up in their sort of mythology of how it works, and they get there and it's like, what? You don't have any of that? You don't have any of that? You don't even have a flat surface to ink on, Todd? Like, holy criminy! And so it's okay. I keep telling my wife that I'm going to survive the zombie apocalypse, right? So my wife isn't, because she has too many needs, like, temperature has to be a certain way. And
what would you, okay, I have a question for you then. What's your go-to, like, 3 weapons of choice in a zombie apocalypse? Or how are you surviving a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, shit.
What's your strategy?
First 2 weapons are easy. Left leg, right? So
Okay.
Yeah, those dudes can't move very fast. So first off, and I know me because I got a bad attitude, because I'm so fast, I'd probably, if I could find one isolated a bit, I would just run circles around it just to tease it, right? And just when it sort of turned one way, I'd run to the other side and turn the other way. Sort of like fucking around with a tank, right? The turret can't turn very much, so you can move a lot faster. So at some point, instead of just getting away from them, I'd probably antagonize it, because it sort of I would just treat it like my brothers when I was younger. So that'd be it.
That's assuming they're Walking Dead zombies, like slow. What if they're fast?
Yeah. No. No. Right now, if they're what's the one with
World
Brad
War
Pitt?
Z.
Oh, those were badass. those were badass, and they're going here, climb on my back. So it's like we'll make like
Oh, yeah.
cockroaches. Yeah,
Walls won't do anything.
no, that was. I go when I watch that movie. I'm like, that's how zombies should act. None of this slow walking mummy. Like I said, I mean, I'm old enough that there was a movie called The Mummy, and I was always wondering, why is anybody afraid of that guy? He walks like an old man, right? He goes really slow. Why is anybody concerned? You can, as long as you can keep a medium to brisk pace, you're okay. He doesn't know how to shoot a gun, doesn't have any weapons, doesn't have X-ray vision. So he just walks slow, right? Done. So, but when I saw that World War Z, I was, wow, they're bigger, tougher, faster, and they're group think. Shoot, this could be trouble. So that one, I'd probably be in trouble. I get annihilated real quick in that one.
Which one do you think's more likely to happen? If a zombie apocalypse were to occur, would you think they'd be fast or slow?
You know, here's the bigger question. Forget the zombies. Here's the bigger question. I ask it all the time. Why do we think that humans are going to last forever? Because I think we have that mentality, right? Why are we not just another version of dinosaurs? We'll have our time. We'll get our few million, maybe a billion years. And then at some point, we'll just either something will happen or more likely we'll just be stupid enough to do something to ourselves and we'll be done. And then some other animal will get to try it, right? So I keep thinking that we're going to be here forever. I mean, if I could only have one wish, it would be like, I want to come back in 2 million years, and I want to see if there's even a human species anymore. So I don't have high hopes for us in the long term. So
I think about that a lot. And we're definitely, no, humans will not last forever. There's going to be some external event for sure that just wipes us out.
Yeah. Well, no, because we just went through it a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a world pandemic. It affected the entire globe. We had the knowledge. We had the information. Everybody was trying to figure out. I mean, again, everybody got caught shorthanded. And so we had to come up with something at the beginning, although we knew we were going to have to improve. And the move was buy all the toilet paper you can. Yep. That was the move. I go, the further we get away from this, when we write it in the history books, the first move humanity made was get toilet paper. Not cure the disease, not stay away from people. Rush to the grocery store, get toilet paper.
That's a bad rap.
Which even it is a bad rap. And because at some point I keep thinking that like the aliens are coming, they're just about to land, and then they get the data from us and they're going, what did they do? There was a pandemic. Fuck, let's get out of here. There's a smarter planet someplace else, right? They'll just skip over us. But and then the piece to me is, why toilet paper? Right? I don't know. I get, you want to go into panic mode and you want to hoard. Why wouldn't you hoard food first? Because here's what I know a little bit of biology. You don't have to worry about the bottom hole till you put stuff in the top hole, right? So why wouldn't you get food first and then go, oh my God, that food's going to come out of the other hole some point. I better get something for that. But if you got toilet paper and you got no food, the toilet paper not even of any use to you. So I just thought it was a weird thing that of all the things that we just went, food, no, water, no, shelter, no, medicine, no, ass wipe, check, right? Check, tell Fred.
Why do you think we did that? Like, I have no clue why.
So here's something, just so you guys, not to defend the logic with it, but I mean, it was easier to fill up a truck full of tuna than it was with toilet paper. So they started shorting the supplies of what they were sending out for toilet paper and paper towels, which made it scarce, and what led to people, as the new term FOMO, into buying bunch of toilet paper and paper towels. That's basically what happened. So I mean, there was availability of food at the time, with like cans of tuna, canned foods, all that was widely available because it was easier for them to transport that in an 18-wheeler than lots of toilet paper and paper towels. So once again, not to defend the logic, because I thought it was completely dumb, and there's so many people with bidets just laughing at everybody, but
Right.
it's
But
just one of those things.
but here's the reality. There was no shortage of toilet paper, right? If you went to all the companies and asked them, did you make less? The answer is no. They made the exact same. The only thing that shifted is the amount of people who were demanding it in a shorter period of time. And so the production that normally works, because you make 1 million rolls of toilet paper, you sell it to 1 million people. The next day you make another million and you sell it to 1 million people. That's how production works when there's no panic. It works flawlessly because you go every day, we're selling to 1 million, we're making 1 million, and it works. Here's where it falls apart. Because at the end of a week, do the math. They make 7 million rolls, and then 7 million people want it. Okay, it works. 7 million for 7 million. Here's where it falls apart. That's under an assumption that people are going to buy toilet paper or gas or food or tuna or any product. Doesn't matter. You can insert any product for this, what I'm about to say, because we've seen it play out many times and over the decade. That it's built to serve 1 million a day for 7 days equals 7 million, and that serves everybody. Here's where it doesn't work. If all 7 million people want their toilet paper on Monday, then you have 7 million people want it, and there's only 1 million. Why? Because the production of the companies can only make 1 million a day, and it's been working for a decade that way, but never when everybody wants it at the same time. So a lot of shortages historically are not because there's actually any shortage of the product. It's because once panic sets in, everybody wants it at a rate the production can't keep up with. And so you go to the store, and the first 1 million people get the 1 million rolls, and then the other 6 million people panic. And they go, oh, there's no more rolls. And then they rush back the next day, there's another 1 million rolls. And then 1 million of those get it, but there's still 5 million that don't get it. And they panic, and they phone their brothers and sisters, and they phone everybody else, and they're going, I was just at the store, and you better rush out. And it just self-perpetuates it, even though if you go to the manufacturers and say, were you making less? The answer was, no, we were not, right? So this is where panic sort of screws us up. It's happened with gas. I've seen it. It happened in Phoenix years ago. There was a little bit of a crack in one of the pipes. The news caught wind of it, said there was a leak. People went, oh, there's going to be less gas in Phoenix, which wasn't true. It was a little tiny leak. And so everybody went and tried to fill their car in the next 2 days. Guess what happened? The wells went dry. Because why? Because the gas that comes into Phoenix comes in on a steady basis, almost like a conveyor belt. But everybody wanted it. It's not built for everybody to fill the gas tank on the same day. So guess what happened? Gas stations ran out of gas. They had to put up the yellow tape. As soon as you see the yellow tape, you're driving, you panic, you go, I got to get to work tomorrow. I'm only at what, 3/4? I don't know how long that's going to last, because now even somebody's got 3/4 of a gallon of gas is going to want to fill up. Somebody's got a half a gallon or a half a tank, excuse me, is going to want to fill up. Somebody at 3/4 is going to want to fill up, and somebody at 1/4. When normally, when we kind of get close to empty is when we fill it up. But now everybody at empty, 1/4, half, and 3/4 is going, I got to top off. And the supply can't keep up with it, and then it creates the frenzy. So this is going back to the equation of why do we think we're going to survive it? Because this wasn't even a big panic, right? This wasn't even a big panic. What happens when it's a true shortage? Then what, right? I mean, it's a little bit, in all honesty, it's a little bit talking to Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead. So in a weird way, we're going back to zombies. The creator of The Walking Dead said that was sort of his story he wanted to tell. The zombies were just a catalyst, right? They were basically the equivalent of the pandemic. And he wanted to see what happened once you basically put humanity in a position where it was basically a free-for-all, one for all and all for one. So if there's a gallon of water and I have a family and you have a family and we get to the store and there's only 1 gallon left in the store and it's the zombie apocalypse, like in Walking Dead, the question is, who gets it? Only one family is going to get that gallon of water. Who gets it? I don't know. So now it depends on how that scene plays out. If somebody say, no, you have younger children, you take it, we'll go to the next store. That you could write that scene. The other one is the 2 dads start beating the shit out of each other. That's one. And the other one is one of the kids has got a machine gun and the other family doesn't. So I'm guessing the family with the machine gun will get it. So his whole thing, he kept saying, was he just wanted to keep putting people in positions where it was more human on human reacting to each other, right? And instead of the zombie stuff, he goes, that was easy. You go, Todd, I made them intentionally slow so that they really weren't a threat unless you were in the wrong place and there was thousands of them. It was more, what were the other humans doing to each other? And so I think, and we've all seen it in our life, right? When somebody cuts in line because they want to get the ticket first or whatever else, right? We just have this weird switch that goes off in us, and we just go, no, I'm more important than everybody else around me at this moment. Cool. So, but anyways, it makes for interesting stories, scenes, characters, and everything else. So the flaws of humanity are the great tools of storytelling. So,
I feel like you just proved the great filter theory.
oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a theory that all species and civilizations must meet an obstacle that they cannot overcome. And that's why we haven't been visited by an intelligent race yet, because they were not able to overcome it. So, I know Neil deGrasse Tyson believes that it's, climate change or nuclear war is what our barrier is going to be, that we're not going to be able to pass. Some people think that it's just standard changes in life or a pandemic that just occurred, or the race just devolves.
Right. Or the babies, evolve, and we don't. Grandma and Grandpa aren't built to hold their breath underwater for 40 minutes. So we'll see it. We'll see how we'll have to adapt. But or if we want to forward think, then all these places that are on average 65 degrees a day, where the weather's not very good, might be good time to buy real estate. Who knows? In 100 years, might be the Bahamas, right? Oh my God, it's 90 degrees. I mean, I'm telling you, Phoenix, Arizona is, 100 degrees every day, right? Last year we set a record for the most days in a calendar year of 110. And then the most consecutive days of 110 or more. We're not even talking about 100 when it gets hot. We're talking about 110. And that, I'm going, wow, man, when we first moved there, we were only talking about 100. Now we're talking about 110. Shoot, here we go. So I keep thinking, I need to move to Denver, because in about 200 years, it might be it might be like the new Phoenix, and the real estate would be up. So do your grandchildren a favor. Go buy some land in cold places. Maybe it might go up in value. So
makes a lot of sense. Just
well,
if
I don't
it
know.
does happen,
I don't know if you can afford. I don't know if you can afford to invest for 200 years. You'd be dead. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Pretty grand. That's pretty grand. That's for your grandkids.
It's a long play.
Yeah, you're like that's for the family.
It's
the
a
lineage.
long play. Advancements in science. As you said, people want to live forever, right? Advancements in science for decades.
You think we're gonna get to a point where humans can live forever without uploading their consciousness, or do you think it's going to be we're gonna upload our consciousness forever?
Want to see a
I
bunch
don't
of
know.
heads
It's a
in
weird one.
jars like Futurama?
They keep talking that, they might be able to figure out how to get us to 150 years, right? So I haven't quite understood. Is that just mentally or is that physically, right? Because those two things go hand in hand, right?
I think both. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can't do mentally, but as technology, like if I don't like Neuralink, but if Neuralink works the way Elon says it's going to work, I don't think the
Oh.
mental would be a problem.
I want to see some 85-year-old doing high hurdles. It'd just be awesome. Right? Just some badass dude, right? It'd just be cool. So I just go, wow, that would be it. But anyway, I don't know how fast it's coming, so keep your health, right? Keep your
Yeah.
health about you, because it's the only thing you got. So sadly, you hit about 50 and you start to hear or know people who are dying for a wider range of reasons. But you're going, what? You're saying that the danger zone is now between 50 and 100. Yeah, that'd be my range, right? I know lots of people who've died sadly in their 50s, and then I know a handful that have died in their 90s. So it's somewhere in between. So you just go, what? So it sobers me up whenever I know somebody that dies at a young age. It sobers me up to go, shit, right? I got this thing now when I go to the pantry, because there's a lot of good stuff in our pantry that like tastes really good, but it's not good for you. And I try to ask most of the time. I can't say I'm 100%, but most of the time, whatever I put in my hand, I go, is this going to help me get to 100? And if I can't definitively say, yeah, well, it's not going to hurt, right? Then I don't walk away with it. I just go, no, just leave it here. So there's something else I can eat that might get me there. So we've trained ourselves to eat what we like instead of eating what we need, right? And if the body's a machine, it needs certain stuff to keep it going, right? Given that you can't control things like cancer, but you can control the body. And it's like, I get it. All that stuff over there in 7-Eleven tastes really good. I get it, but it's not going to get you to 100, right? I don't know. I like life, so I'd rather eat stuff that I don't quite enjoy as much, but the medicine and the science says that it's better for my body. I'll put that one in. So I'm okay. I'm okay if it doesn't taste really, really, really good. So I'm past that. I'm now on the project of living long. So Stan Lee can live to 94. Damn it, so can I. So,
Absolutely. Well, I take it you don't.
What did you say, David?
Something?
I was just asking. So, Todd, you don't drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee. Don't drink tea. No, and again, not that recently. I have never drank coffee. I've never drank tea. I don't drink soda pop. Don't like fuzzy stuff with bubbles. Never drank alcohol. Right. Never did drugs. I'm pretty boring. At times, my wife goes, "What do you drink?" Right? Not too many things. Water, a little bit of milk, a little bit of lemonade, iced tea. That's it. So I don't like hot drinks.
Okay.
So I don't like hot drinks. So let's go. No, never got into it. So and
What
so
kind
I get wired. My wife's always said, "Man, if you did any of that other stuff, like she's always saying, I'd be in jail," because she's like, you got like all that energy and you're not doing anything to sort of stimulate it. You just have it, right? So yeah, I just sit back and watch people. I don't even know how people do it. In all honesty, I kind of admire them, because if I have a long night and I have to get up to crack of dawn, it hurts. And I go, man, that person had 5 drinks and smoked half a pack of cigarettes. Like how are they getting up at 7? I mean, I did nothing. I put nothing in my body and it hurts. What happens when you put that other stuff? Wow. So I mean, so now technically I'm just a lightweight because my body hasn't had it for 60 years. So it probably would be a shock to the system. Wouldn't know what to do with it. So.
Mm-hmm. Or you'd run a marathon and win it.
Yeah.
And it's not, again, just to be clear, it's not because I had a grand plan. Most of it was because I was just poor when I was young, right? So beer, does it taste good? I don't know. I couldn't afford it to find out. Drugs, is it good for you? I don't know. I couldn't afford it. Like none of that stuff, none of the vices were free. Cigarettes weren't free, right? So I just like couldn't afford to have a vice. And then after a while, I just went, I'm 20, 22, 23, 24. I've gone this far without it. Why, like, my body isn't craving it. Why don't I just keep it going? And then it became 25, 26, 36, 46, 56. And it just became a way of life, right? But I tell people I'm no saint. I just, luckily, I, to some extent, would just never had money to be able to get into any bad habits. So, otherwise,
Oh,
if I
water
had
do you
money,
drink, Todd?
oh, just flat filtered water. So nothing fancy. So
Lemonade.
a
Would
little
you
bit
drink
of
a lemonade?
lemonade, a
Okay.
little bit of lemonade from time to
I,
time, but mostly water. Mostly water. Again, because like every meal we have, maybe because it's so hot in Phoenix, right? Just always have a pitcher of water, no matter what, in the fridge and on the table, right? Sometimes it's just a byproduct of where you live. So, but I just go, no, I just want to live to be 100. It's my goal, right? So, and get a Spawn movie out. So those are my two goals. So,
get a Spawn movie out.
and live to be 100. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do at least one of those. I'm gonna do for sure. So we'll see.
Can you give us any more
Well,
information on a Spawn movie?
we officially just signed another talent.
Ooh.
So and I was talking, and like when I get back, I gotta sort of start the conversation again and say, can we announce it at San Diego Comic Con? So, yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
So,
That's
Spawn on the
should be
big
interesting.
screen. That'd be
yeah.
fantastic.
But if not, we got a couple of big announcements on the comic book end too.
Ooh.
So I'm trying to see if we time it. We've got 2 or 3 sort of big announcements for San Diego. Will be one of the bells of the ball if it all sort of pulls off. If not, then we'll just move them to New York Comic Con. So anyway,
Is it all tied to
lots
the
of stuff.
30th anniversary stuff?
Yeah, lots of stuff that people go, what? Just when we thought Todd didn't have any more aces up his sleeve. So, right, we always got one. But anyways,
Todd's still in his prime, everyone.
yeah, shoot, just get warmed up, right? And here we go.
Exactly.
And on
If you're
Monday,
living
we
to
open up.
100, you got to peak at 100.
Yeah, Stan Lee made his first cameo at 85. So you know what? He started his career late. So I go, shit. I still got 20, 30 years before I got to start worrying about a new career. But anyway, next week we got another path. We got our NFT world opening up officially next week. So
Yes, sir.
that's sort of the
That's exciting.
yeah, it's good. Big glory. We'll start slow. We'll keep it easy, and we'll just not take advantage of just what's out there, and just sort of build it slowly but surely, right? Not do any kind of money grabs or anything like that. So we'll just stick to the guns of what we wanted to do at the very beginning. And if that doesn't work for some people, or if it's, people want to criticize what we're doing, then the answer is always the same. Go spend your time and money at a place that gives you more joy, right? But we got a plan and we're going to stick to it. We'll listen to the voices, see what they want. We'll just adjust on the fly, right? So here we go. It's go time. It's going to be go time next week. So.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
that's awesome.
I'm gonna let you get. My wife wants to play a game with our friends here. So
Sounds good, Todd. We'll actually probably close the cafe. We're coming up on an hour. So thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
Sure.
man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Hey, audience, yeah, have a good one, Todd.
All right, and thanks for everybody in the audience coming and listening. Everybody be good.
Sure.
Next week should be exciting.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
All right,
there we
well.
go. Unexpected Todd visit.
Hmm.
Nice. Like, if you're in the audience, you got those little nuggets for coming up. Next week's gonna be exciting. Any final thoughts, David or Omar?
Was this recorded?
Yes, it was.
Oh, there you go. Class
It
B.
was recorded.
This question.
That was this question I had to ask.
Thank
And
you
I'm
guys for
thinking-
so go ahead.
Oh no, wasn't Todd? Didn't he cameo in the first Spawn movie?
I was gonna ask him, but then he left. I was about to ask him.
Yeah, I think he was like a homeless person in there. So he does have
Go
Stan.
back and rewatch it. Well, I mean, yeah, I bet he does. If he knew Stan Lee, he probably was just like, hey, it's a genius idea. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We do cafes every Thursday night on the OddKey Twitter. So Thursday nights and Friday nights in the Discord. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
and
you.
have a great night.